Students, welcome back to online classes. So in the previous class we are completed question number 29. So see the next question number 30. So in this question, find the values of a and b such that the function defined by f of x is equal to 5 if x less than or equal to 2 and ax plus b if 2 less than x less than 10 and f of x value is 21 if x value is greater than or equal to 10. So the function is defined like this. So this function is a continuous function. They are already given that this function is a continuous for all the functions. For all the function is defined on the domain. So automatically the function is a continuous at x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 10 also. Yes or no? So why? Because here x less than 2 and x greater than 2 the function is defined. X less than 10 and x greater than 10 is also defined. So first what we will take that first you have to take that given function. What is the given function? Is given f of x is equal to. So what is the function is given? Take the function first. Given f of x. What is the function, students? F of x is equal to 5 if x is less than or equal to 2 and this value is ax plus b if 2 is less than x less than 10 and also 21 if x value is greater than or equal to 10. X value is greater than or equal to 10. So clearly the function is defined. Clearly f of x is defined. F of x is defined for all real numbers. Defined for all real numbers. For all real numbers. And since f of x is a continuous, function, f of x is a continuous function, that meaning is the function is continuous for all real numbers. So here what I will get that one, f of x is a continuous function, that implies automatically what happens, students? That implies f of x is a continuous, f of x is a continuous yet x is equal to 2. So why? Because the function is continuous for all real numbers, automatically the function is continuous at x is equal to 2 also. So what happens by the definition of the continuous function? What is that? Limit extending to 2 minus f of x is equal to limit extending to 2 plus f of x is equal to f of 2. Why? Because the function is continuous. So automatically what happens, students? Limit extending to 2 minus, meaning is nothing but limit extending to 2 minus. 2 minus meaning is x less than 2. X less than 2, f of x value is 5. So automatically you can take the 5 here. So that is equal to limit extending to 2 plus f of x. If x value is greater than 2, f of x value is ax plus b. So you can take in the place of f of x, you can take that ax plus b is equal to f of 2. If x is equal to 2, f of x value is 5. So automatically f of 2, it will become that 5 only. So automatically what happens here? That implies limit extending to 2 minus. So if you can apply the limit here, what happens? If you can apply the limit, so there is no x value is involved in this one, so automatically you can take this value is 5 is equal to, apply the limit here, students, it will become that 2a plus b. So this value is equal to 5. From these three equations, a 5 is equal to 2a plus b is equal to 5, automatically you can get that 2a plus b is equal to 5. 2a plus b is equal to 5. So take this is the equation number 1. So what I am taking that clearly f of x is defined for all real numbers. F of x is a continuous function. F of x is a continuous function. Automatically f of x is continuous at x is equal to 2. So by the definition, limit extending to 2 minus f of x, limit extending to 2 minus f of x is equal to limit extending to 2 plus f of x is equal to f of 2. Equate these three, you will get a one equation. Since once again I will take a one more condition. What is that one is? Since f of x is a continuous, f of x is a continuous, f of x is a continuous function, f of x is a continuous function, that implies what happens, students? Similarly, f of x is a continuous, f of x is a continuous, f of x is a continuous at x is equal to 10, at x is equal to 10. By the definition, what we will get, that limit extending to 10 minus f of x, limit extending to 10 minus f of x is equal to limit extending to 10 plus f of x is equal to f of 10. So what is that one is? The limit extending to 10 minus, that meaning is extending to limit extending to 10 minus, 10 minus meaning is x less than 10. If x is less than 10, if x is less than 10, what is the f of x value? F of x value is ax plus b. So automatically x less than 10, f of x value is ax plus b. Then what I will take that in the place of f of x, it will become that ax plus b, ax plus b. So that is equal to limit extending to 10 plus x value tends to 10 plus, meaning is x greater than 10. If x value is greater than 10, f of x value is 21. So that is nothing but this value is 21. So that is equal to f of 10. F of 10, if x is equal to 10, in that case also f of x value is 10 only. So what happens here, this value is also will become that 21. So what happens, students? If we can apply the limits, what is that limit? If you can apply the limit, so if you can apply the limit, what happens? So that is nothing but the 10a plus b, so that is equal to 21. So that is equal to 21. So that meaning is from these two you can equate that 10a plus b is equal to 21. 10a plus b is equal to 21. So this is the equation number 2. So equation 1 is a 2a plus b and the equation 2 is a 10a plus b. So 10a plus b, 10a plus b. So 10a plus b. So solving equation 1 and equation 2, solve equation 1, solve 1 and 2. So that meaning is I will take that 2a plus b is equal to 5, 2a plus b is equal to 5. Next one is 10a plus b is equal to 21. Take the subtraction here. So automatically you can take that minus and minus and minus here. Minus b and the plus b will be cancelled. 2 minus 10a, that is nothing but the minus 8a is equal to 5 minus 21, that is nothing but the minus 16. So automatically you can cancel that value here. So then automatically a value will become that 2 only, a value will become 2. So after getting the a value, substitute this value from 1. From equation 1, what is the equation 1? Equation 1 is nothing but 2a plus b is equal to 5. 2a plus b is equal to 5 and replace the a value here. So that is nothing but 2 into a value is 2 plus b. So that is equal to 5. So that implies b is equal to 2 into 2, that is a 4. Take to this side, it will become that 5 minus 4. So that implies it will become that b is equal to 1. B is equal to 1. Therefore the required values therefore the required values A is equal to 2 comma B is equal to 1. A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 1. So see that question, students, once again. So what is that? So given the function f is a continuous function, so they are asking that what is the a value and the b value is. So clearly the function is defined for all real numbers, x less than 2 and 2 less than x less than 10 and x greater than or equal to 10. The function is defined for all real numbers. So automatically the function is a continuous function, already given that. So f of x is a continuous, automatically f of x is a continuous at x is equal to 2 also. By the definition what you will get that, by the definition what we will get that, by the definition f of x is a continuous function, by the definition of the continuous function, so limit extending to 2 minus f of x is equal to limit extending to 2 plus f of x is equal to f of 2. So equate that value, you will get one equation, that is nothing but 2a plus b is equal to 5. So clearly since f of x is a continuous function, automatically f of x is a continuous at x is equal to 0. By the definition, left hand limit is equal to right hand limit is equal to the function value. Automatically you will get that equation number 2, that is nothing but 10a plus b is equal to 21. 10a plus b is equal to 21. After getting these two values, what happens? Solve 1 and 2. Solve 1 and 2. 2a plus b is equal to 5. 2a plus b is equal to 5. So, and 10a plus b is equal to 21. Take the subtraction from equation 1 minus equation 2. So, that is nothing but the 2a plus b and b will be cancelled. So, 2a minus 10a, that is a minus 8a is equal to minus 16, a is equal to 2. And substitute this value in equation 1, automatically you will get that b is equal to 1. Therefore, the required values are a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 1. Okay, students. So see that question and practice this question. Important question is that. So see the next question. Show that the function f of x is equal to cos of x square is a continuous function. So this type of question we are already proved that before starting this exercise. So what is the theorem is that g is a continuous function and f and g and h are two continuous functions, and g is a continuous function at c and h is a continuous function at g of c, then g circle h is a continuous function. G and h are two continuous functions and real functions and which are continuous. G is a continuous at c and h is a continuous at g of c. Then G circle h is a continuous function. That theorem we are going to use here. So here in the given f of x, first we have to see that one. Given, what is the function is that? Given f of x is equal to, given f of x is equal to cos of x square. So here two functions are there. So first function I will take that. Let g of x is equal to, let g of x is equal to cos x. Let g of x is equal to cos x. So automatically what happens, students? G of x is a cos x. So clearly g of x is defined. Clearly g of x is defined for all real numbers. For all real numbers. For all real numbers. Let c be any real number. 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 So I will take that, then f of c is equal to, what happens, students? F of c is equal to cos c. F of c is equal to cos c. Next what I will take that, put x is equal to c plus h. Put x is equal to c plus h. If x value tends to c, if x value tends to c, already we know that we are already proved this condition, x tending to c, automatically h value tends to 0, h value tends to 0. So limit extending to 0, limit extending to c, f of x is equal to, limit extending to c, f of x is equal to limit extending to c, limit extending to c, f of x value, f of x value is cos x, f of x value is cos x. So that is equal to limit, I will change the function in terms of h, limit h tends to 0 extending to c, that implies h value tends to 0, and this cos x value you can written as a c plus h. So that is equal to limit h tends to 0, limit h tends to 0, cos of a plus b, formula is nothing but cos a cos b, cos a cos b, cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, sin a sin b. So apply the limit here, students, what happens? So that is equal to limit, if you can apply the limit, it will become that cos c into cos 0 minus sin c into sin 0. So what happens? So sin 0. So that is equal to cos c into cos 0 is a 1 minus sin c into sin 0 is 0. So automatically what happens? It is nothing but the cos c minus 0. So automatically this value will become that cos c. So f of c value is a cos c and the limit value is also cos c. Then what we can declare that, therefore limit extending to c, f of x is equal to f of c. So therefore f of x is a continuous function. Therefore f of x is a continuous function. F of x is a continuous function. F of x is a continuous function at x is equal to c. So therefore f of x is a continuous. These are not the f of x, actually we are taking it as a g of x. So just for that one you can take this is the g, not the f. So why? Because we are already taking this function as a g actually. So you can take this function as a g. So here also it is not the f, it is a g actually. So why? Because we are taking this function as a g. So here it is a one step, you can take this is the g of x. Okay, so g of x is equal to, g of x is a continuous function, continuous function. Okay, so first I am taking the g of x. Next, what is the condition? It is you have to prove that x square. Already you know that polynomial function is a continuous. So here we have proved that one also. So what is that one is? So second I will take that, let h of x is equal to, let h of x is another function, that is the x square. H of x is equal to x square. If h of x is equal to x square, already clearly it is defined for all real numbers. Clearly h of x is defined, h of x is defined, h of x is defined for all real numbers, for all real numbers, for all real numbers. Then what I will take that, let us c be any real number, let us c be any real number, let us c be any real number, let us c be any real number. Then f of c is equal to, then f of c is equal to, what happens students, are not the f of c, that is the h of c. So h of c is equal to x square. H of c is equal to x square. Then take the limit. Limit h tends to limit extending to c f of, that is not the f, it is the h. H of x is equal to limit extending to c, yeah, h of x is nothing but the x square. So if you can apply the limit here, so that is equal to c square. So then what we can conclude, that therefore limit extending to c h of x is equal to h of c. H of x is equal to h of c. Therefore h of x is a continuous. H of x is a continuous at x is equal to c. X is equal to c and c is a real number. So therefore h of x is a continuous function. H of x is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. So we know that one formula, g is a continuous function and h is a continuous function. So, therefore we know that we know that g comma h are real functions. G and h are real functions such that G circle H is defined. G circle H is defined at C, comma, G is a continuous. G is a continuous at C. G is a continuous at C, and H is a continuous. H is a continuous at G of C. Then what we can say, that students, then we can say that G circle H, then we can say that G circle H is a continuous. Then we can say that G circle H is a continuous. G circle H is a continuous at C. So here G is a continuous for all real numbers and H is also continuous for all real numbers. Automatically G circle H is also continuous for all real numbers. So that meaning is nothing but, therefore that implies f of x is equal to, what is the f of x? F of x is equal to G circle H of x. So that is nothing but G of H of x. So that is nothing but G of H. H of x is nothing but the x square. So that is nothing but the, what is the G of x? G of x is nothing but the sin x, that is the cos x. Automatically this value will become cos of x square. Is continuous. So therefore f of x is equal to cos of x square. Cos of x square is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. So see that question, students. So what is that one is? So first they are given that f of x is equal to cos of x square. So first we have to understand that it is a composite function. First g of x is equal to cos x is a function. So first we have to prove that that function is a continuous function. So we are already proved that one. Next we have to take that second function, h of x. What is the h of x? H of x is equal to x square. H of x is equal to x square. Clearly automatically it is a polynomial function and it is defined for all real numbers. So you can take that h of x is equal to x square and apply the limit, and you will get that it is also continuous at x is equal to c. So after getting this, you have to understand that g and h are real functions such that a g circle h is defined at c, and g is a continuous at c, and h of x is a continuous at g of c. Then g circle h is a continuous. So here f of x, what is the f of x? F of x is nothing but g circle h of x. Why? Because g circle h of x is nothing but the cos of x square, is a continuous function. Therefore f of x is equal to cos of x square is a continuous function. Okay students, so see that question and practice that question. So see that one students. So here g is so see this condition students once again. So g is a continuous at c, it is not a g actually. So first we have to take that it is a h actually. So it is a h is a continuous, h is a continuous at a c, and g is a continuous, g is a continuous, g is a continuous at h of c students. G is a continuous at h of c. So see that verification. G and h are real functions. G circle h is defined at c. H is a continuous at c, and g is a continuous at h of c. Then g circle h is a continuous at c. So see that correction students. See the next question. What is the next question is? See the next one. So show that the function f of x is equal to mod cos x is a continuous function. So it is also composite function students. So we will use the same condition. What is that one is given. What is the given function? First you have to take that given f of x is equal to given f of x is equal to mod cos x. Mod cos x. First I will take that let g of x is equal to let g of x is equal to let g of x is equal to mod x. So we know that g of x is equal to mod x is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So here we are already proved this one in number of times. F of x is equal to mod x is a continuous function. So we have to write the proof. So write the proof for this one. So why? Because we are already proved in number of problems that. So prove this one. Okay. So write the proof. Okay. So g of x is equal to mod x. G of x is equal to mod x is a continuous function. So next I will take the similarly let h of x is equal to what is the h of x? The second function is cos x. This is also we are proved that, so that's why we are writing directly. So we know that h of x is equal to h of x is equal to mod x. So h of x is equal to cos x. So cos x is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So for this one also write the proof. Why? Because in the previous question only just now we are proved that. Write the proof. So g of x is equal to mod x. We have to prove that g of x is a continuous, that is the mod x is a continuous function. Next h of x is equal to cos x. Already we have to prove that it is also a continuous function. After then we know that another condition. What is that condition is? We know that what is the theorem is that g and h are real functions and g circle h is defined at c comma g is, that is the h is a continuous function, h is a continuous function, h is a continuous at c, and g is a continuous, and g is a continuous, g is a continuous at h of c, at h of c, then g circle h, then g circle h is a continuous, then g circle h is a continuous at c, continuous at c. So here what we can define that from these two conditions, therefore f of x is equal to g circle h of x. What is the meaning is that? That is nothing but g of h of x. So that is nothing but g of, what is the h of x? H of x is nothing but, what is the h of x, students? That is the cos x. So g of x is nothing but the mod x. So automatically it will become that mod cos x. So is a continuous function, is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So therefore f of x is equal to mod cos x is a continuous function. So see that question, students. So first we have to understand that two functions are there. First one is the mod x and the second function is the cos x. First we have to compulsory, we have to prove in the examination mod x is a continuous function. We are already proved in the previous questions. So see that one and complete that question. Mod x is a continuous function. Next, cos x. Let h of x is a cos x. Cos x is also continuous function. We have to prove that one. After proving these two, g circle h is also so g circle h is also continuous function. So we have to prove that one. That is nothing but f of x. F of x is also continuous function. Okay, students. So see that question and practice that question. See the next question. Third question number 34. Find all points of discontinuity of f defined by f of x is equal to mod x minus mod x plus 1. Here also two functions are there. The first one is here. You can understand that this is the g and this is the h. G of x is equal to mod x and h of x is equal to mod x plus 1. These two are continuous functions. Already I am given one theorem. What is that theorem, students? If g and h are continuous at x is equal to c, automatically g minus h is also continuous at x is equal to c. So by using that theorem here, first I will prove that mod x is a continuous, then I will prove that mod x plus 1 is also continuous, then after then I will take that g minus h, that is f of x is also continuous function. Okay, so see that question, students. How to solve this one is, first I will take that given function. What is the given function? Is given f of x is equal to, given f of x is equal to mod x minus mod x plus 1, mod x minus mod x plus 1. So for this condition, what I will take that first, I will take that let g of x is equal to, let g of x is equal to mod x. Let g of x is equal to mod x, then this can be written as, already you know the definition of the mod x. What is that one? This value is minus x if x value is less than 0, if x value is less than 0, and this value will become x if x value is greater than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 0. So this condition, it is a definition of mod x. So first I will click that clearly. First I will prove that g of x is a continuous function. How to prove this one is, clearly g of x is defined, clearly g of x is defined for all real numbers, defined for all real numbers, for all real numbers, for all real numbers. So what happens, students? Let C be any real number. Let C be any real number. Let us C be any real number. Let us C be any real number. Then what is the cases are arises here? Then we know that how many cases are arised? C less than 0, or C is equal to 0, or C greater than 0. Three cases are arised. So already you know that these are three cases are. So first case, I will take the first case. What is the first case, students? First I will take that C is less than 0. If C less than 0, then what happens? F of C is equal to, F of C is equal to, what is the F of C, students? If C is less than 0, then F of C value will become minus C. F of C value will become minus C. So limit extending to C, limit extending to C, limit extending to C, F of x is equal to, so what happens? Limit extending to C, limit extending to C, F of x value is minus x. So automatically this value will become that minus C. So therefore limit extending to C, f of x value is equal to f of C. F of x value is equal to f of C. Then what happens? So that is therefore f of x is continuous. F of x is continuous. F of x is continuous for all x, for all x, such that x value is less than 0, x value is less than 0. Then I will take the second case. What is the second case, students? I will take the second case. What is that? If C is greater than 0, if C is greater than 0, in this case what happens? If C is greater than 0, then f of C is equal to, if f of C is equal to, what is that? F of C greater than 0 case is f of C, not the f is actually, it is the g actually. So take some correction here, students. It is the g actually, it is not a f. So why? Because we are taken as a g, so you can take this function as a g. So it is a g. Okay, so therefore g of x here, it is also g of x. G of x is the continuous for all x such that x less than 0. So for c is greater than 0, for c is greater than 0, in this case what happens? G of c is equal to, G of c is equal to, this value will become that x is nothing but the c only. So next, limit extending to c, limit extending to c, g of x is equal to, limit extending to c, g of x is equal to, limit extending to c, and c value is greater than 0, then g of x value will become x. So automatically this value is also c. So therefore what we can return that? Therefore limit extending to c, limit extending to c, g of x value, it will become g of c. So therefore once again you can return that g of x is a continuous, g of x is a continuous for all x such that x value greater than 0, x value is greater than 0. So the third case, what is the third case, students? We have to take the third case. So what is that third case is here? If c is equal to 0, if c is equal to 0, in this case you have to calculate the left hand limit and the right hand limit. Okay, so first we have to take that g of c is equal to, g of c is equal to, g of c is nothing but the g of 0. So g of 0 is nothing but the 0 only. So next I will take the left hand limit. What is that one? Is the limit extending to, c minus f of x, limit extending to x minus c minus f of x, not the f, it is a g. So you can take that it is a g of x. So what happens? Limit extending to c minus meaning is c is 0, so automatically this value, this is a 0 minus f of x, g of x. What is the g of x, students? G of x is nothing but for g less than 0, so it is a minus x. So if you can apply the limit, this value it will become 0. So similarly I will calculate the right hand limit also. What is the right hand limit? Limit extending to c plus g of x is equal to, limit extending to c plus g of x. What happens? Limit extending to c plus, what is the c plus, student? C plus is nothing but the 0 plus g of x, 0 plus g of x. So that is nothing but for 0 plus, what is the g of x? G of x value will become x only. So automatically if you can apply the limit, this value is also 0. So therefore at the end you can return that, therefore limit extending to c minus g of x is equal to limit extending to c plus g of x is equal to g of c. So therefore g of x is a continuous. G of x is a continuous at x is equal to 0. So at the end, therefore from 1 to 3, from 1 comma 2 comma 3, from 1 to 3, what we can define that? G of x is a continuous function. G of x is a continuous function. G of x is a continuous function. So this is the form, already we have proved this one. G of x is equal to mod x. How to prove that one? G of x is a continuous function. So c less than 0, c greater than 0 and c is equal to 0. C for c is any real number. So this is the g of x, and another function is there. What is the function? Is h. What is the h of x? Is the mod x plus 1. So what I will take that one is, let h of x is equal to, mod x plus 1, mod x plus 1. So this value, what is the meaning of this one is, this value is a minus of x plus 1, if x value is less than minus 1, and this value it will become that x plus 1 if x value is greater than or equal to 1. So this function h of x is defined. So if x value is less than minus 1, this value will become minus of x plus 1, and this value will become x plus 1 if x value is greater than 1. So here also clearly, so the model is the same. Clearly h of x is defined. Clearly h of x is defined for all real numbers. For all real numbers, let a c be, let a c be any real number. Let a c be any real number. So then how many cases are exist here, students? So c be any real number, then you will get that c is less than minus 1 or c greater than minus 1 or c is equal to minus 1. So three cases will be arises. So in these three cases we have to prove that one. Okay, so see that one, case 1. What is the first one? Is first one, if C value is less than minus 1. If C value is less than minus 1, then what happens? So f of C is equal to f of C. If C is less than 1, f of C value will become minus of C plus 1. And the limit extending to C, it is h of x actually, students. So you have to take this, it is the h. It is the h of x, here this is the h of c, and here also h of x. Okay, so that is nothing but a limit extending to c, h of x value for x less than minus 1, h of x value will become minus of x plus 1, minus of x plus 1. So automatically what happens, this is equal to limit. If you can apply the limit, it will become minus of c plus 1, minus of c plus 1. Therefore what we can conclude, that therefore limit extending to c, h of x value, it will become h of c. So therefore h of x is a continuous function. Therefore h of x is a continuous for all x such that x value less than minus 1, x value is less than minus 1. Take the second case. What is that? If c is greater than minus 1, if c is greater than minus 1, in this case what happens? H of c is equal to, in this case h of c value, it will become that h of c is equal to what is the h of c, students? For c is greater than 1, x plus 1. So automatically it will become that c plus 1. So limit h tends to 0, limit extending to c, h of x is equal to, so limit extending to c, h of x value will become x plus 1. So that is equal to, so this value, it will become that c plus 1. So therefore what we can conclude, that limit extending to c, h of x is equal to h of c. So therefore h of x is a continuous, for all x, such that x is greater than minus 1, so this is the case 2. And another case is there. What is the third case is? So the third case, you can take that case 3. So if c is equal to minus 1, then what happens? F of c is equal to, f of c is nothing but f of, not the f, it is the h. So h of c is equal to, h of c is equal to h of minus 1, so if x is equal to 1, automatically f of x value will become x plus 1. Automatically this value, it will become that minus 1 plus 1. So automatically this value will become 0 only. It is x plus 1. So x value is a minus 1. Automatically it will become minus 1 plus 1. So next I will take that right hand limit. So left hand limit first. Limit extending to c minus h of x is equal to limit extending to minus 1 minus h of x. So that meaning is limit limit extending to minus 1 minus, in this case h of x value will become minus x plus 1 minus x plus 1. So automatically what happens, this is equal to a limit extending to, if you can apply the limit here students, so if you can apply the directly the limit, so it will become that limit, so that is equal to minus of minus 1 plus 1, so it will become that minus of 0, so it will become that 0 only, it will become 0. So automatically I will calculate the right hand limit also, limit extending to c plus h of x is equal to limit c plus is equal to what happens students, that is nothing but a limit extending to c plus, what is the c is nothing but the 1 actually, so minus 1, not the 1, so minus 1 plus h of x. What is the h of x students? In this case h of x value, it will become that x plus 1, it will become x plus 1. So apply the limit, it will become that minus 1 plus 1, so it will become the 0. So from these three what we can conclude, that therefore limit h tends to, that is the extending to c, limit extending to c, limit extending to c minus h of x is equal to limit extending to c plus h of x is equal to h of c. So therefore what we can conclude, that therefore h of x is a continuous at x is equal to c. That meaning is therefore h of x is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So h of x is a continuous function. So h of x, what is the h of x? Mod x plus 1. And g of x is equal to mod x, is a continuous function. H of x is a continuous and g of x is a continuous. So then what we can do that students? Therefore we know that g and h are real functions, comma g and h are continuous functions, g and h are continuous at x is equal to c. Then what happens students? So then g minus h is a continuous, at x is equal to c. G minus h is a continuous at x is equal to c. So therefore what is the, therefore from this condition what we can define that f of x is equal to g minus h of x. So what is the meaning students? So that is nothing but g of x minus h of x. So that is nothing but g of x is a mod x minus h of x is mod x plus 1, is a continuous, function. So therefore at the end we can return one more word, f of x is equal to mod x minus mod x plus 1 is a continuous. So see that question students. So what we have proved that. So here the given function f of x is equal to, it is a combination, it is a combination of g and h. So first we have to take the function g of x, and we have to prove that g of x is a continuous function. Next we have to take h of x is equal to mod x plus 1. Then we have to prove that mod x plus 1 is also continuous function. After proving this one, g and h are continuous functions, automatically g minus h is a continuous function. So f of x is the g minus h. Automatically f is a continuous function. All are understood, students? So see that question and practice this question, and we will continue in the next class. Okay.